Keeping up with the news is a lot like working the land. It's all go, all the time. Nature waits for no one. Farmlands is here to help this with expert advice, reliable products, and timely supply.
This is Countrywide Connect News with Farmlands. Good afternoon, I'm Richard Badley. Cyclone Vaianu is bearing down on the North Island with MetService warning of potentially life-threatening impacts for everyone in the region. The storm is expected to track first across the Coromandel and Bay of Plenty on Sunday before pushing through the rest of the North Island. MetService says no area will be spared. Over 200 millimetres of rain could fall in some areas within 18 to 24 hours. Emergency Management and Recovery Minister Mark Mitchell is describing the storm as potentially significant and damaging. For growers, Bay of Plenty kiwifruit vines face wind damage from Opotiki through to Te Kaha, while apple growers in Hawke's Bay are being urged to pick as fast as possible to reduce fruit loading on trees ahead of forecast wind gusts of up to 100 kilometres per hour and a sharp directional swing as the eye passes through. Hawke's Bay stop banks could also face pressure with over 130 millimetres forecast in the Ruahine Ranges. Waikato blueberry growers face windfall losses and rot risk, while Marlborough and Nelson are expected to largely escape the worst. We'll have more on this developing story with our weatherman Tony Trewenard coming up on Countrywide Connect. New Zealand's freshwater report card shows encouraging signs of improvement in some key areas, even as pressure on waterways remains a challenge across the country. The Our Freshwater 2026 report, released yesterday by the Ministry for the Environment and Stats NZ, shows phosphorus levels in rivers and lakes are improving, and the visual clarity of most monitored rivers is tending in the right direction. The report acknowledges that while some freshwater indicators are deteriorating, particularly around nitrate levels in groundwater and E. coli concentrations near modified land, 26% of monitored groundwater sites recorded improved nitrate levels over the period. The report reinforces the value of the significant on-farm environmental work already underway across the country. Catchment groups, riparian planting programs, and precision nutrient management are all contributing to the improvements the report is starting to capture. A stronger tone across the South Island wool market this week, with 93% of wool sold and all wool types described as firm in sellers' favour. PGG Rights and Wool's South Island auction manager Dave Burridge says limited volumes forecast in the short to medium term are driving competition among buyers, with better style and well-prepared wools attracting the strongest interest. Crossbred fleece led the gains, with good style up 3% to $3.80 per kilogram clean, and average and poor style both lifting 4%. Crossbred second share good style gained 3% to $5.53, while crossbred oddments rose 3% to $4.65. Lamb's wool also performed well, with the 29 to 32 micron range all lifting 3 to 4% on the previous sale. The next South Island sale is scheduled for April the 30th. Synlait Milk has announced the departure of one of its longest-serving executives, with Chief Supply Chain and Technology Officer Robert Stowell set to leave the business in July. Stowell joined Synlait in its early years and has held several senior roles, including Chief Financial Officer and Chief Commercial Officer. Most recently, he led a major recapitalisation of the company and the sale of its North Island assets. Two significant moves in reshaping Synlait's balance sheets and future direction. Stowell leaves with the company continuing to execute its strategy under CEO Richard Wyeth. And that's the latest news.
Waits for no one. Farmlands is here to help this with expert advice, reliable products, and timely supply. Shop offers in store, online, Farmlands Pro, or with your rep.